Hey, Max here, and this is the Daily Show, Movie Collector Talk, where I go over the good, the bad, and the ugly of all movie, toy, collectible, Blu-ray news, with you great movie fans that love to watch, enjoy movies, and collect awesome merchandise. And I honestly, not every episode is something's gonna fall into either of these categories, the good, the bad, the ugly. But we got some ugly today, and I can't wait to talk about it. This is for February 11th, 2018, and some interesting news came out. Now it's funny too that this came out right after the one deleted scene we get from the Zack Snyder version of the film, which is pathetic. What is Warner Brothers doing? DC movie universe is still a mess, and it's funny also that we were just talking about. I honestly put in my if you go back to yesterday's episode before this news broke, I did not see it. I was talking about how I think Warner Brothers really took advantage of Zack Snyder's tragedy to do a big marketing spin that we are behind the Snyder family and we're going to take the reins of the film for him and give it to Joss Whedon so he can have his time to breathe. When reality is, and this is a rumor, okay, but it sounds like movie studios, it sounds like Disney. Warner Brothers wants to be Disney, and when they made all the changes after Justice League, they're more like Disney than ever. I think if they had any people working there that had a opposing view, they're gone now or they're silenced. It really looks like Zack Snyder was fired, and then WB exploited family tragedy for marketing spin, and so their movie, the premiere, didn't get damaged. They also, keep in mind, big executives at Warner Brothers pushed this before it was ready, and you know how you can know it was ready? Even if they made the changes that they did, it still could have been better because they didn't even finish the CGI. They pushed it out before it was ready just to make that year end. Because they're also trying to do, all these huge companies are worried about bonuses and mergers, and they're worried about the merger with AT&T. They were really trying to get, because you know what? If they had a merger, they didn't know if their bonuses were going to come through. That's the reason they pushed this movie out half-baked. So to say they really care about the Zack Snyder family, it's pathetic. And that's a real shame. He put a lot of good work in the Warner Brothers for them. The Watchmen, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, they really overreacted to that. In retrospect, I don't think it is as big as a deal as The Last Jedi, and I really think that's why Disney is really behind the scenes, is a lot of chaos going on. But also, why Zack Snyder kept quiet about it. Movie contracts keep the truth from coming out. There's all kinds of agreements. You can't talk bad about a movie, or you could be fined. There's all kind of stuff like that. And there's back-end deals. If he would have damaged the film, keep in mind, he's had steady work for Warner Brothers. He's got to find a new line of work, or not a new line of work, but he has to find new arrangements, new films to work, new studios to work with, so he can't badmouth Warner Brothers, especially if he wants new work. You know, the movie industry loves to blacklist people. If he handles this wrong, not only is he dealing with family tragedy, he might not get work for years. And the general public, they overreact to entertainment news, and they were going to blame Zack Snyder. When reality is, Warner Brothers didn't know where to go with this universe either, and they still don't. Look at what's happening with Lobo and The Flash and the next Justice League. They should really put Justice League 2 as a priority. Now's the chance where you could get it right. Get a good director, a good writer, and make a great movie. And they have the opportunity to do it now, but it's on the back burner because they're so reactionary. Oh, people didn't like Justice League. No, it's because you fired the director halfway through and you pushed out junk before it was ready. Okay, and then here's some other news. Joaquin Phoenix as the next Joker. And I have to say, I'm all for it. I still really like the Joker in Suicide Squad, and I want him to have his shot again. But Joaquin Phoenix, I think, is one of those actors that every once in a while comes out with a really great performance, and I think he'll eat this up. I think he'll go as far as Heath Ledger went, maybe even farther. But the only thing I have an issue with is they're going to do like an origin story of Joker. That doesn't make sense. This would be great to see with the older Batman in a Batman film as Joker. I still think Jared Leto, I think he was... Can you imagine, and I also have a question for you guys. What if they did make the Joker the main villain of Suicide Squad? And it would have been made some great scenes of him trying to get Harley back, fighting the squad, Harley's conflict of not wanting to harm Joker, and the bomb being in her. Oh my goodness, there would have been some great scenes there, and Jared Leto didn't have enough to do. I think with what he got, he did good enough, and the direction, I like the director, but it could have been a lot better. And he of course, in recent times, he's given interviews where he said he also feels that Joker should have been the main villain instead of Enchantress. Boy, the DC universe could have been a lot different if Joker, besides Batman v Superman, I think Suicide Squad might have been more, because if they did Joker with the main villain and people loved Suicide Squad, that's all it needed, was a great villain towards the end and some great scenes. And then we would have got the Affleck versus Jared Leto Joker. They would have fast-tracked that movie. You know what would have happened. But now we can't go back in time. We can only go forward. I would love to see Jared Leto get another shot, but Joaquin Phoenix, what are you guys' opinions? I know most of us like Heath Ledger the best, but we obviously can't get him back, unfortunately. And there were also rumors that Christopher Nolan was going to use him as the third movie. Oh, that would have been so amazing. But now that we're in the situation we are, do you want Joaquin Phoenix to play the Joker, or are you totally against it and say that's very unfair to Jared Leto? He never got his time to shine. Just like Ben Affleck. I personally like Ben Affleck as Batman. I don't think he's got his real shot to shine, and I cannot blame him for wanting to be done with this junk. Okay, now we're going to talk about some hot movie trailers. In February, my main movies I really want to see in theaters are Black Panther opening weekend, and this movie looks really cool. Annihilation. I think it's by the director of Ex Machina, and it looks really amazing. The trailer really pulled me in. I think these are the two movies I really want to see, if I can only see two this month with my movie pass. I am a movie pass holder. I would love to see this movie. If you haven't seen this trailer yet, go check it out. It's very interesting. And now over some cool collectibles and hot toys. I'm a huge fan of the original Karate Kid. And here is a special edition Steelbook that's coming out. I'm not sure where you can order this one yet, but I really like it. It's a really cool design. I like the back. The faces in the front look a little bit photoshopped, like really just out of place in there, but overall it's pretty good for a re-release of an old movie. I mean, they could have done better, obviously, but here, let's look at the poster versus the Steelbook. Here's the original poster. I do like him on the beach giving that, but the floating heads would have been even worse, in my opinion, on the Steelbook. So I'm really happy with this Steelbook. I'm not going to go out of my way to spend a lot of money for it, but if I get a chance, I think I will be picking this up. And there's also Gladiator. This is also getting a 4K remaster treatment, I believe, and that's where this Steelbook is coming from. I think it looks pretty good. And I don't know if you'd go with more of an action scene with him just looking like that. I think it looks pretty decent. There's the inside. The inside's pretty boring, black and white. And now let's get on to some Hot Toys. Recently revealed on Sideshow Collectibles website is The Matrix and Neo. One of the best theater experiences I've ever had was the original Matrix in the theater. And seeing that and being blown away, it was so cool. And Hot Toys does an amazing job. Look at this Neo figure. Really cool. And I like how they do some recreation of action sequences. It's kind of eerie. I don't think I'll ever go for the Hot Toy. My personal preference is the Mezco 112. I would like if they also did a Mezco figure. I don't know. I'm really holding out hope that Mezco eventually does Star Wars action figures in the 112 line. I really want a Star Wars action figure there. Because I'm not going as... I don't want to spend the money for a Hot Toy. I can't go down that route. I have too many other things I like. Here's also... It's interesting. It's called Beast Kingdom Jumbo Egg Attack Darth Vader. I just thought it would be interesting. I'm more excited about that Neo Hot Toy, though. And this is what's on my radar, and I would value any recommendations that you viewers have of what you're into right now. It could be a game, a toy, a collectible, a movie, a TV series, something, an anime, and this definitely is one of my favorite animes of all time. My wife actually turned me on to this series. I think we watched the first 2 seasons, My Hero Academia. And it is an amazing series. I was so into it. It was fun. There's great action. And it's basically about a world full of people that have superhero qualities called quirks. And you're actually normal if you have quirks. It's abnormal not to have one. So very few people have, I can't remember the percentage. I think like 10% of the population doesn't have quirks. But this guy, he wants to be a superhero and he does not have the quirks. And that's a great story, an underdog story. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it or heard of it, and if you have, please comment and share if this is one of your favorite animes. If not, I would highly recommend it. I'm also looking for some great anime to watch. So if you have something that you want to recommend, please feel free. And this is the viewer shout out for this episode. And this was a comment on my last daily show of Movie Collector Talk. I'm honestly, I appreciate your comment. I'm not going to try to pronounce your YouTube username. Chris Hemsworth or his brother would be a pretty good He-Man. That's an interesting choice. I think it's too much to go to Thor and be He-Man, and they try to avoid too similar characters for mass public consumption, but I think that would be cool. I would like to say, the reason I included this though, who would you pick as an actor working today that would be a good He-Man? And I would appreciate to read your comments, and I would love to respond. And that really wraps up for today's episode. I really appreciate, because I know I love making both of these. I started this channel to do videos like this. I really enjoy doing Hot Topics, but I'd like to do both. So if you view this series too, I really appreciate your comments, because I do get a lot less viewership on this series. So please show the support. Just comment below. I'd love to talk with you guys. And I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day.